everybody. Welcome back to my podcast, The Mental Edge. And in today's episode, we're going to be going over self-sabotage. Now, this used to be my biggest hurdle that I had to overcome. If I'm being completely real with you guys right now, I just recently overcame that. When I was younger, I used to always have big dreams, big goals. Like I said in my first episode, if you guys haven't watched that, I always said, I want to be great. I'm meant to be great. And I would work so hard for that goal. When I was actually close to like some real progress, I would just stop. It was one of the hardest things for me to overcome. With what I went through the past 2 years, my mindset has completely changed. To all the people that don't know what self-sabotage is, basically self-sabotage is when you have something good in life or you're happy, mess up something on purpose. Self-sabotage is usually, in my opinion, mainly two things. Fear, and it stems from something in the childhood, right? I used to self-sabotage a lot whenever I had an opportunity to have something stable in my life. Because of the way that I grew up, I never grew up in a stable environment. I was a child of divorce. When I was 2 years old, I had moved out of my home. I ended up moving into an apartment with my mom. The first apartment that I lived there for the longest. I think probably about 6 years. Ever since then, I was always moving. I've moved probably like 6 times. I mean, it is a big part of it. My story, it's not really the biggest part. With me working on my self-sabotage, what I really had to do is I dig deep, find the reason why I was self-sabotaging. There was a lot of reasons for me. I never knew stability. I was never introduced to anything stable in life from a young age. Me and my mom, we used to argue a lot. The divorce, like everything changed so fast. I went from a room living in a house to having to share a room with my mom when I was young. Whenever I felt like things were going to be one way, the rug was ripped from under me. I definitely took that into my life later on. Whenever something would be going good or be stable and calm, I was so used to chaos and I would just be waiting for the rug to be pulled up from under me. When the rug wouldn't get ripped from under me, I would do something to end it. Some people self-sabotage because it gives them a feeling of control. Some people think that if they're the one to ruin it, then it wouldn't hurt as much if it were to be taken away from them. Like, there is a lot of reasons why people self-sabotage. If that's something that you really want to, you just really have to dig deep within yourself. You where it all started, what created the reason you're struggling to really truly advance. The reason why I never really felt loved as a child or supported. I always wanted really good things in life. I wanted to fall in love. I wanted to be successful, help my family. Back then, I truly wasn't ready. I grew up being criticized a lot. I was always criticized for being different, for not being like everybody else. I ended up growing up thinking that I was unlovable and that I wasn't meant for great things. Not being used to stability and always having highs and lows, and constant chaos in my life, got to the point where I was so used to chaos and emotional distress. If there wasn't emotional distress, I would panic. I honestly felt like I didn't deserve it. I would work towards something and I was really getting somewhere. I just deep down just felt like I didn't deserve it. I wasn't deserving of anything good. That's what made it really hard for me to be in a relationship back then. I wanted love so bad. I didn't know how to have a healthy relationship. To this day, I still haven't been in a healthy relationship. I'm not really focused on that right now. I really looked deep within myself and I realized why I kept self-sabotaging. I figured this out at 17. I wasn't ready to really change and grow when I was 17. I wanted to, I wasn't willing to sacrifice and put the work in. I'll want something and want something. Pretty sure this is like everybody. Sometimes I just have to be ready. I always want something, want to do something, truly won't really do it until I'm ready. It just comes to a point where I just wake up one day and I'm just ready. It's just what happened. When I was in my relationship a year ago, my relationship was like 2 years. Due to me self-sabotaging, not being anything stable, I ended up finding comfort in misery and pain. Thought that love is supposed to have the highs and lows, highs and lows. It's supposed to hurt really bad, then feel really good, and hurt really bad. That was passion, and I thought that healthy was like boring because I wasn't used to that. I got what I wished for. It got so toxic to the point where it was just, this is what I wanted. This is what I used to feel safe in. This is what I used to find comfort in. I used to find comfort in being miserable because that's something I was so used to. That's something I became so accustomed to over the years. I just can't do this anymore. I don't want to keep seeing how far I could go, how much I could take just to prove that I'm in love. Like, it shouldn't be like that. I'm not saying that the person I was in a relationship was a bad person. We both made our mistakes. I harbored no hate in my heart. I'm just saying we were just young. It was toxic. I'm in a point in my life where I'm over all the toxic stuff. I like my peace. My advice to you, dig deep into your childhood. A lot of the issues that we carry into our adult lives stem from childhood. It's really important to take a look at how you grew up, what patterns and bad habits or fears that you have gotten from childhood. Take the time to try to heal. That's important. You're going to face a lot of challenges in life. You just have to learn to figure out where it came from, figure out the pattern, heal, try and stop the pattern, replace it with better habits, better beliefs, just ultimately let go. Something that stopped me from self-sabotaging was years ago. I was in a really bad place. I didn't want to be in it anymore. I'm done feeling miserable every day. I'm done being stuck in the same place because I feel like it's what I deserve. The reason why I felt like I didn't deserve happiness and greatness and what I wanted in life is I let people convince me that I didn't deserve my dreams and I didn't deserve things. Another thing, stop listening to what other people say. People don't really know you. Might know you to an extent. You just have to realize that you know yourself better than anyone else ever could. No one could know you 100%. Even your parents, they gave birth to you, you grew up with them. You know yourself better than anybody else. Don't let anybody tell you what you do and don't deserve. No matter what mistakes you've made in life, how you've treated people in the past, those mistakes don't make you who you are. What shows who you are is what you choose to do with the mistakes that you've made. That's why I felt like I didn't deserve things. I've made a lot of mistakes in life. We're human. We're all gonna make mistakes. The important part is to learn from them. That's the whole point. The reason why there's mistakes. And a lot of people get caught up in regret with mistakes. Don't regret. Just say, hey, I made a mistake and learn from it, put in the work to be better. All the people that are listening to this and you think that you self-sabotage too because you grew up in a toxic household, look into when you started feeling that way, what made you feel that way. Look up. This is gonna sound crazy, but look up and watch people's stories. Literally, you could go online right now, go on TikTok and look at someone who has stayed in a bad relationship or a bad environment because they were too attached to leave. I was in my relationship. I used to watch this couple that was toxic and crazy, and I used to actually think that that was entertaining. Guys, everybody thinks that being toxic is cute, toxic environments are cute. It's really not, because it's all fun and games until it gets really bad. So if you're around anyone that makes you feel like you don't deserve anything, distance yourself from them, cut them off. If you're afraid of success, you feel like you don't deserve it, or you feel like it's too far. It's actually crazy, guys, because I actually used to fear success. It was easier for me to imagine it and dream about it when it would actually, happen in real life. Like, I just couldn't believe that something like that would happen to me. Everybody looks at things as unobtainable or very hard to obtain. That might also play into self-sabotage. If you want something in life, do not let your mind or other people convince you that it's really hard to achieve. All of the successful, famous people that are in the spot that you want to be in, because there are people that are in the spot that you want to be in, that live the life that you want to live, you just got to remember that they're all human too. They're literally all human. We're literally all human. You decide if you're special. You decide if you're successful. A lot of successful people that have a lot of people that look up to them, they have a crazy story too. They've gone through struggles too. You don't need to grow up a certain way or have certain connections or have this or that to get what you want. You make yourself special. You make yourself special enough to achieve what you want, not other people, not how much money you have, what shoes you wear, this or that, the third. Remember that when you look at people that are in the place that you want to be, they were in your position once. They kept going. And that's all you got to do is just keep going. That's something that I did. Stop self-sabotaging. Another thing that I did was I actually looked up a video on YouTube. I was like, how do I stop self-sabotaging? He was talking about how people make things seem so hard before they even do it. They convince themselves that it's harder than it really is, and then they don't end up doing it. It plays hand in hand with procrastination. So used to do that too. What I would do is I would just tell myself every day I could achieve my goals. My goals aren't as far as I think they are. I could easily accomplish my goals. My goals aren't hard. Everything that I wanted to think and everything that I wanted, I would just tell myself that over and over. If I'm being honest with you, you could rewire your brain. What's important is give yourself grace. People often stay in bad habits because they give themselves unrealistic expectations when they're trying to break them. Say you're trying to go on a diet, right? You've been doing good for a week, and then you eat something that breaks your diet. You feel guilty and you just keep going. You feel so bad about yourself for doing that. Change doesn't happen overnight. Something that helped me a lot was I would have my goal in mind. I would also push it to the back of my mind. For me, it just seems a lot harder to accomplish a goal. My goals are so big when I'm always focused on the end result. It's easy to say, oh, I want to buy a house, I want to buy this, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's easy to say that, it's easy to want it. When you're thinking of that every day, well, this is just for me, guys. Everybody's different. You kind of start to get a little lost and you kind of start to get a little overwhelmed when you're always thinking of the end goal. You don't want to be miserable on your journey to where you want to be. It doesn't have to be a miserable, hard journey. You don't have to suffer so much just to get it. If you want something, say what you want in your head, envision what you want in your head, learn about what you want, make a plan, break it up into smaller pieces so it doesn't seem like you're always sacrificing everything every day. You could have those small wins, a small win, and then another small win, and then the end goal is the big win. That's what would make me just want to give up. I feel like I had no wins. I was just constantly sacrificing. Let's say you're trying to get fit, right? Do your research on what body type you want to achieve, what you want to achieve. Find someone that has the physique that you want. Look into what they eat, what they do, their routine. Try out different routines. Give yourself little goals. I'm going to try to work out 3 times this week. Then if you do, give yourself a little reward. Buy yourself a cool water bottle or stuff like that. That's something that could help you a lot, is the little win. Trying to better than you were yesterday. Trying to take steps. Even if it's a little step, it's a step forward. Every day, trying to take at least one step or half a step or a quarter of a step, 1% closer to your goal, those milestones, and give yourself a little reward. Be proud of yourself. You don't always gotta say, this isn't enough, it's not the end goal. There's always gonna be small wins on the way there. Just like a game. When you're playing a game, every time you level up, you get prizes. I think of it like that. The ultimate level that you're trying to reach, with each level that you hit, like the higher you go, aka the closer you're getting to your goal, give yourself a little reward, whatever that is. Even if it's just going out and doing something you like, giving yourself a day to relax, just makes it a lot easier. When you have something to look forward to, that's what I have to say about self-sabotage. Look deep within yourself. Look into your childhood, how you grew up. Try to pinpoint what exactly happened to make you start feeling this way. Just realize that you do deserve nice things. Just because you experienced something so crazy or hurtful, or whatever it is you experience, it happened to you when you were young, doesn't mean it's going to happen again. People will do a lot of stuff just to try and protect themselves from pain or setbacks. You cannot protect yourself from what's meant to happen. That is a harsh reality, a hard truth, hard pill to swallow sometimes. The only thing that you could do is learn from it, grow from it, be able to experience it without it ruining everything for yourself. Don't ruin everything for yourself. I'm speaking from experience, man. I used to think that I could protect myself from certain things by self-sabotaging. I'm telling you now, it doesn't suck any less. Doesn't hurt any less. Gotta realize down the line, you just kinda gotta accept that. I'm not saying that you don't shape your future. Obviously, there are gonna be things that happen out of nowhere. The way that I think of it is the universe trying to test you. I think of life as a game. There's going to be challenges and hurdles that you have to overcome. Don't think of it as such a terrible thing or an annoying thing, and I used to think like that too. Because if you really, really want to get deep about it, you really do need those hurdles though. Life will always have its challenges, and it's just kind of like the universe's, or whoever you believe in, it's their way of trying to see if you're ready to have the life that you want. Challenges will never stop. There'll always be things that just happen out of nowhere, you didn't expect it. If you just get whatever you want on a silver platter, right? Handed to you on a silver platter without you having to do anything. If you come encounter with something hard or a challenge, you're just gonna run away. Why would the universe, or whoever you believe in, why would they give you everything that you want without you putting in any work or any effort or growing as a person if they know that you're just going to run away when things get hard? It's being able to overcome challenges. When you have your dream life, you know what to do. You're prepared. You're prepared to just sit down and try and fix it. Another thing that I feel like really helps with Self-sabotage is realizing that life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And you don't have to believe me, just think of all the things that you wanted to work out in the past, right? This is what I used to do whenever I would feel sad about something. Think of all the things that you wanted to work out that didn't end up working out. Now, if you have something in your head right now, think of where you would be at if you got what you wanted. Would you be happy? Would you be where you're at now? How would your life end up if whatever you're thinking of right now that you wanted worked out? There were so many things that I wanted when I was young, so many things that I wanted to work out. Looking back at it, I'm really glad it didn't work out. God knows where I would be. God knows where my mental would be. How advanced I would be in life. Who knows? I don't even know. I couldn't even imagine it, to be honest with you. Yeah, guys. That's what I have for today's episode, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. I'm signing out.